Hey there, 90 Day Fiance fans. It's me, Shawnee Flowers, reality TV editor for Monsters and Critics, and I am back with your top tweets for the latest episode of 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After, which is part 3 of the month-long 4-part tell-all. I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting tired. We've never had a tell-all this long before, and honestly, some TV shows' seasons are barely this long, so this is like almost a whole new season of the show in itself, just telling us what happened when they went to New York, both behind the scenes, on stage, all of it. And part 3 was a whole lot like part 2, and by that I mean it's the fall of Big Ed, which isn't a long fall, as we all know. Andre referred to Ed as Small Ed, not Big Ed, because well, he's not very tall. And after today, his ego seems to be a bit smaller too, or maybe it will be, because he sure did make himself look silly on that stage, trying to tell lies and deny things, and telling Liz that it can't be true because she can't prove it. Prove it, Liz. Anyway, what a silly man. He needs to stop. On to the tweets. Tweet number 1, I think, speaks for us all when they said they cannot take this 4-part tell-all. There is no reason that the season of the show should take this long to go over a tell-all. 4 parts, y'all. That's 8 hours of our lives that we cannot get back. Tweet number 2 touches on this whole downfall of Big Ed when they said, I can't understand how anyone would find this man attractive. And I'm not talking about physically. I'm talking about on the inside. His soul is just ugly. Ugly, Big Ed. You could be a totally cool dude, but you're not. You're manipulative, you're mean, you gaslight Liz, you gaslight the other women on the show. And I just want to take a minute while we're talking about this tweet to just point out how obvious and how terrible it is that you tried so hard to overtalk and manipulate and gaslight all the women on the stage, not just Liz. Every time a woman called you out, you freaked out on them. You told them how rude they were. You hit back at them below the belt. Below the belt being your term, definitely below the belt every single time. But, Jovi and Andre and Bilal, they all had plenty to say about the way that you were treating Liz, and you didn't come at them the way that you came at Jenny or the way that you came at Kimberly. So I just want to say, why is that? I mean, we can all take a pretty good guess why that is, because you think that they're all manipulatable and weak, and you can just have your way and overtalk and just storm over the top of them. And clearly, you're not going to do that to Jovi or Andre or Bilal. The downfall of Big Ed. This is it. We're watching it happen. Finally. Tweet number 3. I'm not a big fan of Usman, but in certain African cultures, taking on multiple wives is normal. Know what you're getting into. Yes, Kimberly, you knew that he was going to want multiple wives. You knew that he would want children. You knew he would want to carry on his family line. Why are you with him? I could take a guess. I think it's storyline and a paycheck. But who am I? The point is that when you get into relationships with people from other countries, it's important that you know and understand their culture and be willing to accept things that maybe never would be acceptable in America. That's just the bottom line. And we've seen it play out with Usman now with 2 different women on the show, which again makes me think that this is all about the show and not about love or finding the partner or any of that. It's all about being on the show and exposure and getting that TLC paycheck, because otherwise we wouldn't even be in this mess. But, here we are arguing about whether Usman's going to have a baby or not with a woman that can't have a baby with him, whether he'll be adopting or having another wife. And apparently she accepted it, and then she didn't, and then she did. And now here we are, and Usman is looking for that other wife, and Kimberly is freaking out. So apparently she hasn't accepted it. She'll never accept it. It will never be okay. Again, just know what you're getting into culturally. It's not that hard. Tweet number 4. Can we all just say we are not looking for another season of any 90 Day Fiance show that features Big Ed or Angela Deem? Not Happily Ever After, not The Other Way, not Pillow Talk, not The Single Life, nothing. Let them go. We are tired of them. Big Ed has proven himself time and time again to be a gaslighter, a manipulator, and dare I say it, he's just straight up emotionally and verbally abusive in his relationships. He's not honest. He's not honest with his spouse, his mate, his partner. He's not honest with himself. He's just not honest. He's not honest with 90 Day Fiance viewers. Why do we want to watch a show where he's blatantly doing things that are not cool and then lying to everyone about them? He's gaslighting us, y'all. No one wants that anymore. Angela, same deal. She is terrible. At least she knows that she's overbearing and she tells Michael what to do, but she's just awful. And she treats him terribly. And then she comes on the tell-alls and she fights and she argues with everyone from the cast. And I know that they have her do that for drama or ratings or whatever, but enough is enough. And this is the tipping point where we're just ready to wash our hands and cleanse our palates and be done with Big Ed and Angela Deem for good. Tweet number 5. I knew Andre was big, but he looks like a giant standing by Jovi. And then it goes on to talk about how we've never liked Jovi more. He's definitely redeemed himself this season after that whole back and forth with Yara about staying in Europe. He backed down, he let her have her way. He's come on the tell-all and made it clear that he loves his wife dearly. He's told Big Ed, I would never speak to my wife the way that you speak to your partner. He stood up for Liz several times, stood up for Yara, even tried to shut Angela Deem down, though that wasn't happening and he looked scared to death. But Jovi has come across as a really good guy, a great husband, a great father. And you know, let's just take a moment on this tweet number 5 to just give props to Jovi for coming through, because this tell-all has redeemed him. I like him. I'm cheering for Yara and Jovi as a couple. Honestly, I hope that they come to an agreement and end up having another baby together, if that's what they both want, of course. But let's see them on another season. I'm cool with that. Just no more of this fake back and forth Europe stuff. I want to see real drama, real relationship, just real. As a matter of fact, whenever this show comes back, let's keep it real, okay? That wraps up the top 5 tweets for this week's episode of 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After. It happened to be part 3 of the 4-part tell-all. I know you're all a little bit tell-all fatigued, as am I. Ready to move on to bigger and better things, which means after next week, part 4 of the tell-all, we'll be moving on to 90 Day Fiance The Other Way, which I'm really excited about. It's mostly new couples, mostly people we've never seen before, and you know, no shade, but Jenny and Sumit will not be on The Other Way next season because we just saw them on Happily Ever After. So looks like they're moving on to bigger and better things, and we're moving on to new people, new drama, and hopefully some great storylines. Real storylines, that's what we want, right, 90 Day Fiance fans? We want real storylines, real relationships, real romances. Let's keep it real this time around. I'm Shawnee Flowers, reality TV editor for Monsters and Critics. You can follow me on Twitter at Shawnee Says. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to Monsters and Critics on YouTube so we can bring you more reality TV news. Have a good one, guys.